Famae Foundation, some of you know Famae Foundation. It's a foundation we finance and we give money, grants to blue economy, circular economy projects. That's what we do. We did it last year. Some of you know the challenge, the Famae challenge, since it was dedicated to waste reduction and waste recycling. We provided 1 million euros. We had 1,500 candidates from all over the world, from 70 countries. And we awarded 6 laureates. Some of them are in the room today, and some of them will be on stage in a couple of minutes. But maybe a couple of words about blue economy and circular economy. You may not be aware of the whole thinking around this. The main idea of the blue economy is to say there is no waste. Everything, every output from an industrial process can be utilized in another step. And basically, if you think like that, Gunther Pauli calls it the blue economy, then it's a rounded cycle, meaning that it's an endless recycling of waste, of outputs. And so we reduce the environmental footprint of human activity. That's a very powerful idea. It's not yet fully implemented, as we all know, but still it's very powerful. So it's starting now to get some traction. People are thinking in terms of, for example, allocating funds into this industry or this new paradigm. And that's the second thing that I do. First is the foundation. We launched a challenge. It was about waste, the first one. This year, the Famae Challenge is dedicated to water. It's called Precious Water. We're going to grant 2 million euros, and it's open to startups, NGOs, associations, students, researchers, and small and medium-sized companies as well. But that's the first thing that we do at Famae. The second thing that we do is we are trying to bridge the world of finance. I know it's maybe not something that you like, some of you like very much, but still there is a lot of money available in the world today. And since I have spent 20 years as a private equity investor, I invested 2 billion euros in 200 companies. I know a little bit the world of finance, and I know a little bit the world of the blue economy, so to speak. So my goal now is to bridge these two worlds. I mean, a lot of people are doing that today. You've seen probably impact investing funds. You've seen, green tech funds, etc. That's what we want to achieve as well. So today I'm here also to tell you and to tell, there's a lot of startuppers in the room, a lot of students. We are here to finance these kind of projects. Could be in any fields, as long as it helps to reduce the environmental footprint of human activity. I can give you some examples of what we are doing. Last year, from the Famae Challenge, we awarded 6 prizes. Let me give you an example. For example, the first project we awarded, we put 300,000 euros. There is one of the laureates is over there, Alexandre. Please raise your hand so that people can identify you. This project is just wonderful. And it gives you an example of what blue economy, circular economy should be. The target, I mean, the item that we address, the waste that we address, is diapers, les couches. Diapers is a nightmare, so to speak. I mean, for those of you who are parents or who have been parents in the past, recent past or not, you know that I had 3 kids, by the way, in 18 months. So I was a very heavy diaper producer, and I felt ashamed. Diapers is definitely, it's the waste that we don't know how to deal with, because it's a mix of very good things, like the cellulose, the excrements, le caca des enfants, urine, excellent you can use it and make it a compost, a fertilizer, it's perfect. The thing is that you have also plastic. and a couple of other chemical stuff in diapers. So today, the idea of finding the solution, and one of the solutions, the possible solutions, could be to design and manufacture a 100% biodegradable diaper. It's a very ambitious target, but that's exactly what the company of Alexandre and some other two other startups, they grouped together to be stronger. We awarded them 300,000 euros to find a solution and to work on the first 100% biodegradable diaper. Because then, if you design it, you manufacture it, then it is utilized by the families. And then you have to collect it, obviously, to either you rely on the local waste management system, or you collect it differently, and you compost it, for example. And then you produce, you enrich lands. It can be used as a fertilizer, etc. So it's not, all this is not easy, but we are launching an experimentation. I mean, these three startups we awarded the prize, they are starting to experiment the composting of diapers to show that it's completely, I mean, it's harmless, and that we can do it. If we can, and then if we succeed, if they succeed in doing that, then we will have solved a very big issue. It's a massive issue, waste issue. And think about, for example, the developing countries. I think the regulations is probably less strict in these countries, but they have a huge problem. Health, it's also a health problem. So if we can address and solve this issue, I think we would have demonstrated that it's a complete proof that the blue economy works. So the diaper, the 100% biodegradable diaper, is a wonderful theme. I could speak, for hours about diapers. And it's all the more interesting is that it's a very powerful theme in marketing terms, because babies are heavy polluters. And when you think about that, you say, well, no, that's not cool, Can we do something about that? Yes, we can. As said a former US president. So I think it's very interesting. This example, for example, the 100% biodegradable diaper is a wonderful example to demonstrate that if you put some money, energy, of course, motivation, expertise, you have to put some money in that. We started to put some money, and I think we'll probably help these startups to raise more money. But at the end of the day, if things start to move in the right direction, then we could solve this issue. And it's a demonstration of what and how blue economy can work. That's one example. Let me give you another example of blue economy, circular economy. One of the laureates of the Famae challenge in 2018, last year, I mean this year, but the last challenge, it's precious plastic. Do some of you know precious plastic? Dave Atkins, can you raise your hand? Some of you? Yeah, maybe 5, yeah, say 5%. This guy is great. He's, 30, 31 years old, Dutch designer. He has built a network or community of 50,000 people, and they work to design small machines that can recycle plastics. Small and cheap machines using very low technologies that you can find either in Ouagadougou, in the middle of Africa, or in Denver, Colorado, or Manchester, in the UK, or Besançon in France. So very low tech. The machines cost, say, $200, $300 maximum. So you take plastics, you shred it, or le broie, you shred it, and then you have different small machines where you can extrusion. You can blow, I don't know the name in English, soufflage, I think it's blow. Or you can make some bottle, or you can press it, use a press. And then you can recreate locally a small business using plastic as an input. These guys, he has been able to do it, to built this community of 50,000 people. They have designed these machines. They are open source blueprints, so you can grab them on internet and design your own machine. Of course, you can buy the machine, the spare parts and do it yourself. You can order it. And you have today 200 tool shops up and running in the world. There is one in Morocco, which is very, very strong. And so people can make a living out of plastic. So plastic becomes like a new artisanal. I can't remember the name in English, but it's, you have tool, you have wood, metal, and plastic. Plastic is a new is a new input, so to speak, less than 100 years old. So, and plastic is everywhere. So the idea of Dave was to say, look, it would be great if we could reduce the volume of plastic we produce, but it's going to take time. So his idea was more to say, look, the plastic go into every place in the world. You can find it everywhere, even in the ocean, by the way. So plastic is there. So let's try to use it. So his idea was to say, okay, can I design some machines, small machines, that could be utilized locally with very low tech? So it means that the maintenance is very easy. You don't need to be an expert. Second, you can build it with local technologies, with local people. And three, since the input is for free, people can make a living out of it. So this guy is really great. So we awarded him 300,000 euros. So this is a grant, so we're going to give him the money. But we're going to help him also. So we help him to create a foundation. Baptiste from Famae is in the audience. Baptiste, can you raise your hand? Okay, he's in charge of the negotiation with Dave, and he's setting up the foundation in Holland. Because the idea is to help the guy, to build something which is sustainable. So we told him, look, we're not going to give you 300,000 euros and then we forget about you. We're going to help you. You set up the foundation. We put the money. We're going to raise more money. And then you have also to have a subsidiary or a branch that will make the connection between the guys that want to buy these machines and the guys that are making the machines. Because Dave he likes the open source approach, and that's really his values. So that's perfect. You can have an open source solution, but then you can still have a little bit of a commercial activity to sustain your development. So Dave Atkins is great, and the money that we are providing is really for him. He's been doing that for 5 or 6 years with no money at all. That's incredible. So if we provide this money, he can develop the small machines from the V3 to the V4 and build blueprints for bigger machines. And these bigger machines will really make the difference for the local workshops, because then the guy will be able to really live out of it. So today he has 50,000 people in the community. I think it could reach 1 million. The number of workshops, it's maybe 200. The target would be to reach, 10,000 workshops. And then if you think about the impact of this, it means that the plastic, which is locally lying on the ground, literally speaking, then it could be utilized, to make some products, like, floor covering. You can make furnitures. So this is, one more time, an illustration of what blue economy is. Dave Atkins is a perfect example of, how it works. Actually, it works. It really works. It's not something that a speaker talks about on stage. It's real life. You can check, go to his website, and you'll see the different workshops everywhere on Earth. And this is very interesting. So that's the second prize that we gave at the Famae Challenge. One more time, illustration, circular economy, blue economy, how does it work? Third prize, another very interesting example. But this time we use animals. So we allocated 300,000 euros to a company called Protifly. And these guys, what they do, they take the organic waste and they feed flies. And then you take the flies, you crush it, and you can separate proteins, oil, and then the rest you can use it as a compost or a fertilizer. By doing this, you are bringing a lot of value to the organic waste, because organic waste, biodéchets, it's something, it's literally very rich. You have a lot of proteins, you have a lot of mineral salts, you have a lot of things. But when we scrap it, well, it ends up in incinerator in France most of the time. So this is very stupid. And this is not at all blue economy, by the way. So the idea is that using this organic waste, biodéchets, you really feed, literally speaking, the flies. And the fly, it's a small animal that we all know. It's a wonderful machine. It's a wonderful biological machine because it takes the organic waste, it eats it, and then it's not the fly itself, it's a larva. So it's a baby fly, so to speak. And this baby fly is just a wonderful machine because it will grow, I think it's 10,000 times its weight in a couple of weeks. And then you take the larva, you can go fishing with it, by the way, but you can also crush it and you take out proteins, oil, and the rest is compost or fertilizer. So this industry is starting in France, but in the rest of the world, you do have already in China, in South Africa, in South America, you do have already big manufacturing sites doing this. And one more time, this is a perfect illustration of blue economy because you take organic waste, so that's very much at the bottom of the chain. That's what we throw in our trash bin, in our kitchen. So that's, we can't do anything out of it. We can compost it. True, Alexandre will talk about it. We can compost it, or we can give it to these wonderful animals that I learned to love, actually. Even if it was not easy at the beginning when you saw all these flies being bred. But using these flies, they will transform the bio-waste, the organic waste, transform it in a very smart way. Because at the end, you just have to crush them, a little bit of, it's not even a chemical reaction, it's purely filtration, and you have oil, proteins, and compost. The rest is compost, it's excellent for compost. And you use actually the protein or the oil to feed animals with. So at the end of the day, it's doing a little bit like we take our organic waste, we feed animals with that, and then these animals will eat them later on. And by the way, humanity has been doing that for 25,000 years. When your organic waste, you just give it to pork, to animals in a farm. So basically here we're just putting one more step, which is the fly. So these guys, this startup, is one more time a brilliant demonstration that if you think a little bit in terms of this circular economy approach, the blue economy, then the waste, the organic waste, becomes an input for the flies, and the flies in themselves will become an input for a next step. So this was I wanted to give you a brief overview of what we have done last year, the Famae Challenge. So it was dedicated to waste. So the 3 examples are perfect blue economy projects. So Protifly with the organic waste feeding flies. We have Precious Plastic and Dave Atkins, and I really, really strongly advise you to have a look at what he's doing. So the little machines to recycle plastics. And the third, it's the 100% biodegradable diaper. One more time, perfect illustration of what we can do, what we are trying to do with terminal waste, so to speak, and trying to take value out of this waste. So this is the Famae Challenge. Last year was about waste. This year it's about water. One more time, I'm trying to market a little bit the challenge. So Precious Water, it's going to be open in 1 month and a half. You can go and check on the website. 2 million euros this year will be allocated to projects. Could be not-for-profit projects or for-profit projects. So that's what we do. And second, we also finance all kind of green tech projects, mainly assets and infrastructures, but where we can reduce the environmental footprint using the circular economy approach. So I'm here with money, so you have projects, so we can probably find an agreement, I guess. So one more time, you can contact us, check the Famae website. It's the challenge or investment in green tech and circular economy.